Hi everyone, welcome to Water Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the M41 Walker Bulldog, popular Tier 7 American light tank, which leads to the infamous T49, the one with the big derp cannon. But anyway, this one is being driven by Raavi, 18, from What University, Southeast Asian clan. He's platooning up with his old mate Tim Bob, also in an M41 Walker Bulldog, and they both lucky enough to be almost top tier, and this just 3 tier 8 tanks on the enemy side and 3 on their own. So Raavi's doing the right thing in his light tank, even though he's not fully loaded yet. He's trying to get some spots on the enemy team, and there they go. That's about 5, I think, 4 or 5 tanks spotted by Raavi, and those tanks look like they're heading towards the middle to try and fight it out with these 2 Bulldogs. Of course, the Bulldog has a 10-shot auto-loading clip, and you can see he's got standard ammunition loaded, which does 150 damage a shot, 175 penetration, 210 penetration for the Heat premium rounds. He's not looking at shooting at this stage, just looking at getting some spots on the enemy team. That VK3601 looking like he might be AFK, or maybe he's just camping that 5-6 line. Tim Bob unfortunately got taken out early, trying to get some spots on the enemy side, but Raavi's still at full health and he's already put a couple of shots in. He's not taking a reload at this stage. He's still got 8 shots left in this clip, so why would you? 1-2 is the score, and this is an encounter battle, and you can see one of the tanks on Raavi's side, probably the IS-6, is sitting on the cap circle, but being a encounter battle, it does take a long time to cap it out. Auto Wayne's on the VK3601, hoping to get the kill shot. There he goes, picks it up with his second shot, but he does get lit by that T3485 in the process. 2-2 is the score, and looks like one of the enemy tanks have put a toe onto the cap to stop the cap, and now that, looking at the minimap, looks like the Cromwell, who's now dead, Sir Bigalot, pretty cool name, got taken out by the SU-100 sniping from the hill when he was trying to attack that IS-6. Never a smart thing to do in a Cromwell, take on an IS-6 on your own. Now Raavi's just about finished his reload now. He's picked up 324 hit points of damage, and assisted damage 2,780. That's absolutely massive at this early stage of the game. 4-3 is the score, and you can looking at the minimap, you can see that Raavi's team's got a good presence up on the hill, and that's why he's trying to continue to light these enemy tanks in the centre of the map. And he's probably looking for that T37 that was last seen at D1. Probably wants to get rid of him. Takes a big hit from the Ike tank, losing his commander, but a quick tap on the 5 key brings him back to life. He's got 565 hit points left of his 910, and he's hoping to get some more spotting damage, and damage that he does himself. He's doing a mission to cause damage to enemy vehicles at least 5 times by shooting them, and of course spot at least 5 enemy tanks. Let's see how he goes on this mission on Fiery Salient. 4-4 is the score. The tanks up on the hill looking to do a little bit of sniping. Good to see the artillery hasn't remained right at the back. He's gone up to the hill as well. That's that little Tier 6 FV304, the little Bercy artillery. Now that AMX 1375 getting very aggressive down the 1-2 line, and he's probably trying to light that T54 Mod 1, but he gets taken out by said tank, and that makes the score even again at 5 apiece. Raavi's spotted that Ike tank, and he's not going to stop just in case he gets hit himself. Picks up 433 spotting damage. He'd very much be very happy if somebody killed him to add to his total spotted damage. 3,213 spotted damage so far. That's an absolute ripper. Now there's 1 or 2 enemy tanks. Looks like they're having a bit of a look on the cap circle, but they haven't been lit. Slight wrong turn there into the KV-85. And Raavi trying to light these tanks up that are on or near that cap circle. Looks like there's a heavy tank pushing onto the hill. Looks like there's actually 2 enemy tanks there, but only one's lit at this stage, and it's the T32. And with 10 shells in his clip, wants to put some damage into that T-32. Not lucky enough to connect the first three. Connects that one. And of course, now that he's tracked, he was tracked, it'd be very handy indeed. But AMX 5100 with his autoloaders getting up there, and rightfully so. Everybody's having a bit of a shot at the French autoloader, but Raavi got a few shots in there. A few of those shots went a little bit wide. Maybe the gun's not that accurate at such a range. But he's on the reload now, trying to get some more spots on that IKV 65-2. Swedish meatball tier 6 tank destroyer. And with the score on 5-8, something's got to happen to turn this scoreboard around. Again, looking at the minimap, you can see the IS-3 and the KV-85. They're sitting pretty stagnant down here in the middle. They're really, I don't know if they're getting much done there, but it's a good guard point to, so if the enemy do start capping, they can just roll over the hill. T-34-85, however, is probably keeping them lit up and hoping artillery are going to shoot them. As Raavi takes out the T-32. This T-32 had already picked up 3 kills, so it's a handy tank to get rid of. And now Raavi going up to that hill, trying to get some spots on that cap. He's got a minute to get there, and I think he'll do it comfortably. The temptation when somebody's capping, or when 2 enemy tanks are capping, the temptation can be to run straight into that cap circle to try and get a reset. And you see it happen a lot, but Raavi doing the smart thing here, and he's going to try and use his vision up on the hill, and so he can light them and hopefully get shots on them without being spotted. That would be an awesome result. The T-54 Mod 1 moving right up now, and so's the IS-3. The IS-3 getting very aggressive up towards where the enemy spawned. And Raavi does get lit there, and there's only 20 seconds on the cap clock. But artillery puts a shot into the cap and kills that IS-2. Of course, that IS-2 is probably the most dangerous tank who was on the cap. And now the Cromwell just dipping his toe over the line of the cap circle, which will prevent the cap timer from continuing. Raavi using his autoloader to put some damage into the SU-100, and the SU-100Y on Raavi's side picks up the kill. He did bounce a shot too from that tank destroyer in that little skirmish, which is lucky because on only 98 hit points now, that would have been enough damage to kill him. Now, because he's on such low health, he does need to be a little bit conservative here. He's already picked up 4,452 hit points of spotting damage. He's done 1,100 damage himself. Looks like he's got 5 shells left in his clip. He's got all those tanks lit up. And it looks like that T-37 might be going to have a crack at the Crommy, but Crommy gets rid of him, and the SU-100Y kills the Ike-65. And now I think Raavi could probably afford to fire a few shots here, since he is in a bush, and there's enough distance between him and the enemy tanks so that they shouldn't be able to spot him when he's sitting in this bush. Takes the reload with the score on 13-11. His side is capping. That SU-100Y is going to sit on the cap, and it looks like a T-54 Mod 1 is doing a bit of a sweeping run up the northern section of the map. Waiting for his gun to reload. It's nearly there. It does take a little bit of time to load, but it's obviously 10 shells, so it's probably the biggest auto loading clip in the game, I would say. 10 shells, not counting those machine gun tanks you see at low tiers, the Panzer 2J or the Panzer 1C. And here we go. The Ferdinand being very kind, offering his side. Takes the Ferdinand down to 58 hit points. He's done 1733, which isn't too bad at all. And he's seen a little artillery, and that'll be easy damage. Doesn't matter which way he's facing, he'll be able to put damaging shots into the tier 6 British artillery. It looks like the Ferdinand, is he coming for Raavi? He is. So Raavi dodges to the right, jumps into the stream, but unfortunately he flips his tank. As the artillery kills the Ferdinand, the T-54 Mod 1 kills the little artillery piece, and in the end a pretty handy win in the M41 Walker Bulldog featuring Raavi 18 from Watt University Southeast Asian Clan. And have a look at this result. Look at all those tanks that he spotted. He definitely spotted the 5 tanks that he needed to spot as part of his mission. Picked himself up an ace tanker mastery badge, a spotter, bruiser, fire for effect, Confederate, and of course a patrol duty. And looking at the second page of the post-game battle results, 1,404 base experience. Unlucky not to survive the game, but he had to get out of the way of that big Ferdinand's gun. 1994 damage done, 4,572 spotting damage. That's absolutely enormous. And a pretty profitable game too, nearly 38,000 credits. Bottom line profit, after tax, after paying for everything, not a bad first class mastery badge at all in the M41 Walker Bulldog, the popular Tier 7 American light tank. As we move on to the second game in this double shot of Tier 7 action featuring the M41 Walker Bulldog, we've got Trollzer 69er from Pyro Clan. Trollzer featured in some of the Pyro Clan Wars replays, Clan Wars battles from the 5th campaign, where they dominated so much in the early time zones, and I think the whole clan picked themselves up a tank. Easy money. Look at that T-37, very kindly just staying there. Now he does get lit, but he thinks he's probably safe. Of course, on this battle on steps, it's in encounter mode, and the aim, as usual, is to kill everyone or to cap the base out. Gets a couple of damaging shots into the MT-25, and you can see he's using his spacebar there to do those little handbrake turns, which, especially in light tanks, it's a awesome thing to see in lights. It's really good when you're trying to circle enemies and flank them and put some damage in. He's still got, looks like 5 shells in the clip, and this target is the Scorpion. You can see what he's doing here. It's not a bad tactic. If you're trying to make yourself hard to hit, sometimes you don't need to wait for the gun to fully aim. It might affect your statistics as far as how many shots hit the target, but you'd rather conserve your health and miss a few shots than wait for it to be fully aimed and get shot by 2 or 3 tanks all at the same time. You can see on the minimap there's at least 5 tanks up there. That's why Trollzer was making his tank a hard target. He's nearly reloaded now. Picked up 1,094 hit points of damage, 414 spotting. And it looks like the enemy are having a bit of a push onto the tanks that are near the cap. Zen Hatter, who is in a platoon with, and Tickle Monster, also from Pyro. Both very good players and very very active during the Clan Wars campaign. Now again, not fully aiming his shots. That's to make sure those tanks that are back here near the Scorpion G, these guys here, don't get the chance to shoot him. Just fire a few clutch shots just to keep him honest, and a couple of the shots did land. You also see he obviously likes the Walker Bulldog. He's got 2 marks of excellence on his barrel, and if he keeps playing like he is in this game, he'll pick up a 3rd in no time. 5-3 is a score, 1,094 hit points of damage, and here comes the RU-251, very popular Tier 8 German light tank. But even though it's a good tank, it's never going to be a match for the Bulldog, especially with the 10-shot autoloader. So he takes another reload and moving back a bit, being a little bit conservative. He's on less than 400 health, and there's some Tier 9 tanks in this game. They could all those Tier 9 tanks could really give Trollzer a little bit of pain if they shot him, and that's why he needs to continue to make himself a hard target to hit and try and chip away at the damage. They're comfortably winning 6-3, so they don't really need to do anything silly. Just need to get back and let the enemy come to them. Playing a little bit of a snipe game along with the Leo, the tier 7 Swedish medium tank. See Zen Hatter having a few shots in his T54 E1. And Tickle Monster unfortunately gets taken out by a T37 over on the other side of the map with his Emil 2. Tier 9 Swedish auto-loading tank. I did think I saw him mention in the chat that the tank was pretty much stock, so never know. 7-5 is the score. 1,806 hit points of damage done so far by Trollzer 69er from Pyro Clan. Well, and also a little bit of spotting damage. A lot of pinging going on, and that'll be because those two tank destroyers down at K3 are 100% out of the game. So even though they're winning 7-5, now 7-6, these two tanks aren't in the game. So they're in this battle, they're two tanks down, or they're one tank down. These guys really need to move and to do something. I can't see why they are there, unless they've flipped their tank. One's saying log in the chat, which probably means lag, but even if he is lagging, he might as well not play the game. He's not even anywhere near it. Trollzer looking for a shot on the T37, but somebody else kills him, and the IS-3 takes out the Scorpion G from the back. Now, even though Trollzer and Zen Hatter, they're pretty much on their own on the central eastern part, these heavy tanks and the T43 are coming in to help flank these enemy tanks. The Leo also flanking from a different side, so he's letting his teammates know by hitting the F8 key that he's reloading. Zen Hatter putting a shot into one of those tanks, and the Leo and the T10 picking up a kill as well. 12-7 is the score. 2,500 hit points of damage done so far by Trollzer, and now that clip's loaded. He wants to get that Jag Panzer tracked so he can keep shooting at him, but now he's got his rear. He'll say thank you very much for that kill, and good night Irene to the T37. Takes one shot but ends up on 280 health towards at the end of the game, and a comfortable win in the end. 15-7, even though some of those tanks were miles away towards the end of the game. And you can see he's picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for that bit of action, a Bruiser, Fire for Effect, Confederate Medal for hitting more tanks than any other player on the team, and you can see them all there. Quite a few tanks there. Even though it was a Tier 9 game, Trollzer in his Tier 7 M41 Walker Bulldog topped the scoreboard with 1,451 base experience, and Zen Hatter having a ripper too with 1,057 base experience. Unlucky for the Tickle Monster to be taken out on the other side of the map, but he still managed to put out over 2,000 hit points of damage, which isn't too bad at all. 3,412 hit points of damage for Trollzer, 3,800 for Zen Hatter in the Tier 9 medium tank. 31 shots fired, 24 hit, 23 went through, gave him nearly 3,500 hit points of damage. 1123 spotting, and a reasonably profitable game too, taking just under 7 minutes. 23,000 credits without a premium account. Not a bad result at all. Two pretty awesome games in my opinion, featuring the M41 Walker Bulldog, the Tier 7 American 10-shot auto-loading light tank. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and see you all next time.